part 5 of turning our house into the scariest house in the neighborhood. In part 1, I made this fake dead body that's covered in webs, so obviously we need to make a huge spider to go along with it. So on cardboard, I drew the outline of the spider and then cut that out. And then I used pool noodles and spray foam as kind of a spacer so I could add another layer on top of this. And I also added spray foam around the edge to fill the gap between this level of cardboard and the next level I'm going to add. So I sandwiched this with another piece of cardboard that's slightly smaller than the one below, and then repeated that exact same thing, but with another piece of cardboard that's even smaller than this one. So this is what the top half of the spider body is starting to look like, and you have to go back and fill all those gaps. But after that dries, you can flip it over and do the bottom half of it. And I actually started filling the spider with trash because at this point I have been through so many cans of spray foam that I was really trying to minimize the amount of spray foam I needed. This is the bottom of the spider, and I used 4 spray foam caps, and that will be kind of my marker of like, I'm going to try and keep this bottom part flat. So if I want to just set the spider on the ground, those will be my 4 like standing points, if that makes sense. And last minute, I decided to add these elbows into the foam, and I'm really happy I did because this is what I actually ended up using to stand the spider up. If I just put rebar in the ground, I could put the rebar into these little holes and it will support the spider. And all on the head, I added where the legs are going to connect to. So I added those same elbows and I added 8 total. After everything dried, I sawed a layer off just to make everything more flat and spray painted the whole thing black. I am making this a Black Widow, so I actually painted with red paint a little Black Widow marker on the back. And to make the eyes, I just got ping pong balls and I cut them in half and then just spray painted them black. Next, to make the legs, I made them out of this like pipe insulation because it was black, so I didn't have to spray paint normal pool noodles. Each leg I'm making up out of 3 pieces. So cutting each piece at like an angle like this and then using a 45-degree half-inch PVC pipe elbow and kind of just like shoving it in that joint on both legs and then completely wrapping it with electric tape. So each leg should look like this, and I made 8 of these total. And now we get to attach the legs. And at this point I realized just how big this spider actually is. So how you connect the legs is first you put a PVC pipe in the like elbows that we connected earlier with spray foam, and then you just slide your leg on top of that. I first put the spider on the ground, but then thought it would look cooler if it was more suspended in the air, looking like it came down from those spider webs. So I used rebar and I just hammered it into the ground, and then those 3 rebar are going to go into the elbows we added earlier. So I just slid all the legs on, and for the legs that were kind of like not staying upright, I actually hammered a smaller piece of rebar into the ground and then put the leg on it just to keep it straight up. And come back for the full reveal.